Alright guys, so before we get into today's video previewing the Tennessee Titans matchup, let's go through the injury report. Arian Foster, obviously, he's coming back. Hopefully he's 50-50 on that. I wouldn't really count on him coming back, but if he does, that would be huge. Xavier Howard obviously aggravated his knee injury, so he's doubtful. I would say he's a 50-50 chance. Brandon Albert did miss Wednesday's practice, I think, with a illness, but I would 100% count on him playing. He said himself that he will be playing, so I would definitely count on him 100% playing Sunday. So that's great news too. So let's compare the Tennessee Titans stats in terms of league rankings with the Miami Dolphins. So points-wise, we rank. This is the Dolphins. We rank 28th in the NFL with 17 points a game. It's bottom of the league. Yards a game, we rank 26 with 329, which is not very good at all. A lot of that has to do with the if we could get our run game going, we would be in the top 10 in the league in total yards. Most of that, like almost over half of that, is passing yards, which is ridiculous. Passing yards, we were in the top 10 until we played the Bengals, so now we're 17th with 252 a game, and rush yards, we're bottom of the league there, 29th with 77 rush yards a game. Now that could change with our this is definitely going to help with Mike coming back. I don't know if I mentioned that Mike Pouncey is 100% playing Sunday, which is huge. I think every Dolphins fan knows that, but excuse me. That's huge. That is a huge deal. Obviously, Mike Pouncey, one of our best players on offense, and probably the best center in the NFL. And, you know, he's definitely going to help that run game a whole lot, especially if Arian Foster comes back. And even, like, you know, and Adams, we'll get into that later. I'm already getting into the video. But so Tennessee, in terms of points, they're 32nd. They're last in the NFL in points a game with 15 points a game. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. And they have not really played any great defenses. I mean, the Raiders, I think, they've gave up the most yards out of any defense. They've gave up a ton of yards. I know they're at least ranked bottom half of the league in defense, total defense, I think. So they haven't played an elite defense yet, and they still rank 32nd in the NFL. And that yards a game, they're 18th in the NFL with 348 yards, and a lot of that is their rushing game because the run game is what I mean. Pass yards are ranked 27th with 221 yards. In the run game, they're ranked 4th in the NFL with one of the best tandems, obviously, in the league with Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray. But again, that's a jaded stat because of total yards. I mean, you take that you take them rushing yards away, man. That's not good. Their offense isn't very good. Well, their receiver core is not very good at all. They traded their best weapon in that receiver core, Darrell Green Beckham, to the Eagles, and that was one of the worst trades I've seen in a long time. So before we get into more in depth, let's compare the quarterbacks. Mariota, he's throwing for 925 yards on the year. He's throwing for 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His rating is a 73. He's got a quarterback rating of 73, and his completion percentage is a 58. So he's not having the greatest year, obviously, with those offensive stats, and he's got a run game behind him. Obviously, he doesn't have the greatest receiver core. He definitely doesn't have a number 1 receiver on that football team. So his best pass catcher or receiving threat is Delaney Walker, their tight end. So, obviously not all his fault. Let's go to the Dolphins side of things. Let's compare Ryan to him. His completion percentage is not significantly better, but it's a lot better. 63 completion percentage versus Mariota. His touchdowns, obviously, he's thrown 6. He's thrown 5 interceptions on the year, 6 touchdowns on 5 interceptions. His quarterback rating is an 87 compared to Mariota's, which is a 73. And Ryan's thrown for over 1,000 yards this season. So we have the advantage in terms of quarterback performance so far. And I know you Dolphins fans don't get all our quarterback has played better than Mariota has so far this year. So this is what it's going to come down to. Like I just read to you guys, the rushing yards for the I'm losing my mind here, for the Tennessee Titans. That's a huge deal. Obviously, our defense not very good against the run. It did improve against the Bengals, which is a good thing. Kiko Alonso is back to his old self, which is a good thing. So this defense is trending up. In the secondary, or the receiving core of that football team is just Delaney Walker. Like, that's the biggest threat. And Rashard Jones is obviously probably the best safety in the NFL right now. So we have a pretty clean matchup there in terms of our secondary going against there's not a true number 1 wide receiver on that football team, and this is the first time we've played somebody with not a beast of a receiving core. Like we played the Patriots with Martellus Bennett, Hogan, Edelman, Amendola, and so Martellus Bennett obviously is an absolute beast. Obviously, we played Seattle, Doug Baldwin, and Jimmy Graham, and then we go to Cincinnati with AJ Green. And all those boys, and obviously the Browns with Terrell Pryor, who right now is a Pro Bowler. He's playing like a absolute beast. So this is the first time our secondary is going to go against a lesser, not a very good, one of the worst, probably, if not the worst receiver core in the NFL right now. So we should have a good advantage as long as Rashard can keep Delaney and Walker in check. Last year when we played him, Walker had a beast of a game against us. He had like over 100 yards. And one of the biggest factors of last year's game to keep the Titans in it was the real Green Beckham, who is no longer on the football team. So obviously we should take advantage of that. Our secondary should not get exposed this week as long as we can get pressure on Mariota. Cameron Wicks says he likes his matchup today. He says that the Titans tackles are really slow, which is good. Obviously Mario Williams, Cameron Wicks hopefully can get back on track. That would be awesome. So obviously here's what we have to do. On the offensive side of the football, obviously we have to keep drives alive on third down. We are one of the worst teams in NFL history on third down right now. And a lot of that, and again, we're getting all of our offensive linemen back this week. They're all going to be healthy. They're all going to be playing. That's huge. We are 6-1 when this offensive line is healthy together. 6-1. Okay? Ryan Tannehill has a rating, I think it's something over 100, for God's sakes. It's crazy. 6-1. 6-1. That's insane. So if we could just do that against the Titans, which we will, because it's proven that we can when our offensive line is healthy, we'll have a really good game on offense. And this offense will be one of the best offenses in the NFL, mark my words. We're already in the top 10 in the NFL before we played the Bengals, and we were probably the worst team. I know we were the worst team on third down when that happened. So if we can just get on, and like I said, we were in the top 10 passing yards when we were bad on third down. If we can be great on third down, this team will be one of the best offenses in the NFL, and we'll be totally fine. We just have to move the sticks. That first series, 1st and 10 on whatever the balls we have to pick up third downs, and we'll be fine. I love it. I like our matchup with the now the Titans have not let up a lot of passing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, but I like our receiver core. Devontae Parker said or Adam, I can't remember who said it, but somebody let me know down in the comment section below. Devontae said, or I'm just gonna say it was Devontae or Adam, said that he was healthier. No, this was Adam. He said he was healthier, and now he can run deeper routes, which is huge. So that means DP's coming back 100%. So Steen's coming back, We got Mike. I don't know if Steen's going to play guard. He probably won't replace Bushrod. I would crap and bench Bushrod for Steen, but anyway. When this, like I said, offensive line healthy, 6-1, great news. Got to pick up third downs. Got to get the run game going with Arian Foster. Hopefully he comes back with Kenyon Drake at home in Miami. That'd be awesome. Get the run game going. And like I said, 6-1. When this group's together, 6-1. That's a crapping good sign, guys. That's a really good sign. So let's go to the defensive side of the football. I love how Kiko is playing the way he is. He's playing very good. Bobby McCain had a pretty decent year so far this year. Obviously led up the game-winning touchdown to Seattle. It was probably the darkest spot of the year for Bobby, but he's had a pretty good season other than that. Our secondary trending up. Tony Lippett did a good job. He did a decent job. Xavier Howard, I've liked what I've seen from Xavier. If he plays Sunday, that's a huge gift for this defense. We have to stop the run. This team is one of the best teams. Let me take a deep breath. I'm losing my breath. Anyway, this team is one of the best teams in the NFL rushing the ball. So if we can stop that run game with obviously Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray, if we shut that down, that forces them to do what they're not good at all, which is passing the football. If we force them to do that, we're gonna have a great football Sunday in Florida. So I think as long as we can just stop the run, force third downs, get off the field on third down, offense. Target Devontae Parker more. Get the rush, get the run game going. Then we'll be totally fine. Don't force the run this week. I think we'll be just fine. So that's gonna be it, guys. I am SkyX83, and I'll see you guys in